Yeah, I don't know if you ever saw the original Last Airbender, like this cartoon.
I think I seen it on the was it on Netflix or something?
They made a
The
live
series,
action.
right?
Yeah, they made a live action version of it.
I seen it, but I never watched it. I know I seen it on Netflix right there.
Yeah, they changed a bunch of stuff, and it's just all right. So the original Avatar voice cast isn't returning for the Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender movie. All right, so I guess they're gonna make a first. Okay, so first of three standalone animated films in the Avatar universe was first announced. It was revealed that the original cast of the animated series would not be returning. A continuation of the original Avatar Last Airbender series. The upcoming film will explore the lives of Aang and his friends as young adults. Eric Nam has already been revealed as the voice actor for the role of Aang, with Dion Kwan as Toph, Bei Fong, Jessica Matan as Katara, yada, yada, yada. It turns out it wasn't necessarily a narrative decision, but rather a concerted effort by the studio to match actors' ethnic and racial backgrounds to the character they're portraying. All right. Okay, so just I told Mike and Brian I understand how important it was to get this right for them and for the fans because I'm a fan too. So it's also my favorite IP. Since the original show was released, there's been more emphasis on in voiceover to match the actors' ethnic, racial backgrounds. Why is it is voice acting? Nobody knows what you look like. So who cares what color your ass is and what you're playing? Some of the most famous voices in this type of industry don't match. It's like there's Samurai Jack. It's a Japanese dude. His voice actor is a black guy. Like on the Justice League cartoon, same dude who did the Samurai Jack cartoon also did Martian Manhunter. He's green and a freaking Martian. So see this right here. I understand how important to get this right for them. Then why are you changing shit? I don't. It's like you saying stuff, but you don't actually believe the shit that you're saying because
Wh-
you.
What is it? What is it about the
Hmm?
what is it about? Like, what is the main Airbender? You said.
Yeah, basically the premise of the story is this is a fictional world where it is like the entire like this continent, all right, or a series of continents are spent 100 years being attacked. Like the Fire Nation went out and try and destroyed the air, like the most of the Water Nation and a large chunk of the Earth Nation, and completely, for the most part, killed off the Air Nation. But each particular nation is represented, and this is why they talk about the ethnic shit. Is the Airbenders are basically uh uh, like what the hell
Ninjas?
no, the air nation is like Buddhist monks,
Uh
like
huh.
right. So that's what their ethnic group is. The earth nation is essentially China. It's Chinese. The water nation is Inuit, and the fire nation is basically Japanese. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So the the main, like one of the so each like Aang is the last airbender because when he would like every generation or so, like from birth to up a certain age, the avatar is a person who, so each nation has their own bending powers, right? So the water nation is they can manipulate water. Fire nation they can manipulate fire. The airbenders air, and the earthbenders earth, right? So the avatar typically they can only do one. So if you're born in the earth nation, then it's like you won't learn how to do like anything else. So you can manipulate the earth and like that. right? So that, but the Avatar can manipulate everything. So he is like not a necessarily a spiritual leader, but he's like a leader of. He's not in charge of everything, but he's kind of like think of like if he's like the Pope or something, right? So he's not actually in charge of anything, but people looked up to him as a
For
guide,
guidance.
right? So the Avatar, they're basically they maintain the peace because they're super powerful. So if anybody gets out of pocket, then they can actually like prevent anything from happening. So they maintain the peace. So they're the spiritual leader and they're the person who maintains the peace, kind of thing.
Did I watch the Netflix one?
No,
No.
because at by this point they tried to make another series, and like somebody like I was looking at comments, and one of the comments was they got lightning in a bottle for the first series, but they have not been able to replicate it in anything else. So it just worked for the first for the first series. So then because they did a second one with another avatar, but they this was around the Me Too stuff. So she's kind of girl bossy, which is she's annoying. She knows everything. It's like an annoying thing where and it split the fan base up because the people typically most of the people who like the first group hate the Legend of Korra. It's like they just don't like it. And then you got like fans of that who didn't really watch the first one who are trying to it's like a weird thing, right? But so when it came out, then they made a movie with M. Night Shyamalan, and he screwed up everything. Like he even screwed up how you pronounce Aang's name, right? Dude, like throughout the entire movie, they kept calling him Ung. Like it's not his name. His name is Aang. Aang. It's like 3 years of freaking cartoons that tell you exactly how to pronounce this dude's name, and they screwed that up. So just like everything else, you're starting to lose the original fan base, and they're not really creating a new fan base because they've screwed the story up. So that's why I'm like, you hear stuff about the Netflix stuff, how the original creators of the cartoon were basically disgusted with what the changes that they were going to do in the live action shit, right? So they got so upset that they just kind of washed their hands of it and basically was talking shit about it, right? So I have no faith. And then like they just announced that the second season they changed one of the characters in a way that's not true to the actual character. So when they say stuff like this, right? So when they say stuff like, how we got to get this right, it's like, no, you're not. You're already proven that you're not. You're just doing what you found a popular thing and you're trying to put your own version of the shit out.
I'm
So
surprised they don't make they're making into a movie in the theaters.
no, that's what this is. These supposed to be three films. So this is not the live action one. This is something else.
Oh, okay, it's not the Netflix one.
Yeah, no, this is something else. So replacing,
Okay.
all right. So that it's never an easy task. So hopefully fans approach this film with open mind. No, they're not. Uh, these people, like all of these people, need to realize that that particular aspect of life for entertainment, that's over. Nobody whatsoever is going to be open minded about shit. Nothing, because you have screwed up Star Wars, like Star Wars, Star Trek, like I can just go on the laundry list of Doctor Who of everything you have screwed up. So ain't nobody giving you the benefit of the doubt anymore. So this you change how the characters sound. I'm done. Okay, you just told me not to come watch this. That's basically what you said. And then your reasoning is because you want them to be ethnically looking. I'm like, that don't make no damn sense. It's like the whole point of voice act, you pick the best person to do the best voice for the job, period. Doesn't matter what they look like. So you changing stuff, it goes along with every other stupid ass thing that they're doing in Hollywood. Just like so and myself and probably many other people was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm out. Well, good luck. You're gonna push an IP that, while popular amongst people who liked it, it's not a huge thing for normal people.
Where do you watch like the cartoons ones at?
Hmm?
Where do you watch the cartoons for the Airbender?
It's Nickelodeon, so I gotta remember who owns Nickelodeon. Cause then I think it may be on Max. I'm not exactly sure.
Oh no, I have to check it out.
Yeah, so like the original ones, it, it was a better story because it's a hero's journey. It was Aang was like the part of the reason why he's like, so this takes place 100 years after Aang was born, right? And the reason why he's alive 100 years after he was born and he's still like 10 is because he got so terrified of all the responsibilities of being the Avatar that he ran away. And then he got trapped in like he freaked out a little bit, and he his Avatar state kicked in and he kind of froze himself. So when he wakes up, this is 100 years after the Fire Nation has wrecked everything. So he's trying to do his job where, because he's the last Avatar, he is trying to fix everything because that's what the Avatar's job is. But he's doing all this
Trying to catch up.
right. But he's doing all this as a 10-year-old, 10 or 11, right? So imagine that responsibility at that age, and he's still a kid, so he still does kid stuff. So, but he also he only learned how to do the airbending stuff. He never learned how to do anything else because when they basically told him that he was going to be the next Avatar, that's when he ran away. So he never learned how to do anything else. So he has to go find people to teach him how to do everything else, and that's how he meets everybody in his little crew. It is a hero's journey, and he basically learns how to have the responsibility that, the maturity of what he needs to do. He learns that in the journey. And the TV show that they put on Netflix, they decided to have that, instead of having that taking place over 3 years, it happens like real quick. But he just becomes yeah. So but it's like the last. It's just so many example after example after example of people who do not know how to write very well and don't understand that. No, it's okay for the person to not be at the state where they're going to be at some point, because people can relate to that. Because eventually you watch him grow and you can relate to that because you've gone through stuff like that yourself.
I mean, I think it's back then they used to follow what the script. Now everybody, the writer, wants to create their own thing
Right.
without following how the story is.
Huh. Yeah, the reason why you want to make this thing in the first place is because it had a diehard fan base, and you changing stuff will piss off the fan base.
But I think it's encouraged. They're encouraging the writers to change it up, or I think they're getting instructed
Yeah,
to create or just change it with your opinion. But I want a different thing.
yeah. At the end of the day, you're selling a product, and the person who wants to buy the product does not care about your opinion of this thing. Period. They like this thing. They want you. If you're gonna make this thing, they want you to make it as close to what it is as possible. That's it. Nothing
That's the
more.
hard part that they don't understand.
No, because you get people who really can't create on themselves for themselves, and it's for whatever reason they're given the keys to the castle, and they screw it up. And that's what amazes me, is the fact that there's so much evidence of don't do that. Because if you do that, then this is going to happen. But it's like they all have this weird selective memory where they did like, well, it's not going to happen for me. I'm like, oh, yes, it will, because this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's like, no, I can stick my hand in fire. It's not going to burn me. Just because it burned him, it's not going to. Like, yes, it will. Like, how do you know? I'm like, I know because there's so much evidence of saying that it will. But hey, knock yourself out. I don't want to hear it when you burn your hand.